Pour on decide. We're both we're sharing this time, so I'm not two people, but might as well come up. Pour on. Welcome to SOMO Village, as we actually call it now. I'm excited to be in the space. You guys like this space? Yeah. So the good news is we're in the space. The bad news is for this conference is this will be the last time, because we actually rented this to a wonderful company that I'll talk about a little bit later. I see a bunch of people standing. There's a whole bunch of chairs, so if people want to take a moment and sit down, there's a whole bunch of chairs. Don't be shy. You can come on, sit down. So actually, I'd like to get Bill. Bill, if you could hook me up with that crystal ball for just like 5 minutes, that would be really, really appreciated. So it actually says on my name tag here that I picked up today that I'm a yoga therapist, and it's kind of true. I do yoga, and I definitely need therapy. So there's some definite truth to that. This card. And then just one other thing, Jake, I think we're actually a half of a mile from that smart station. So,
it's nice where you're standing.
Yeah, and I do consider this the downtown Rohnert Park. So next slide. So Mary mentioned that I work for a company called SOMO Living. SOMO Living is actually a new company. We used to be part of Untitled Enterprises. We actually started a new company called SOMO Living, which is an investment holding company that owns SOMO Village. We own our interest in Community Fuels. We own some other property in Sonoma County and San Francisco. And then we also make some investments in some startup companies. So we're going to talk today, Poran and I are going to talk about One Planet California. I think we both think that One Planet has a big future in California. California obviously has been an innovator for many years, and we think that's going to continue. SOMO Village is a special brand of One Planet community because we're in Northern California and we're in Sonoma County. And I think some of the 10 principles that are on this banner here are really have a certain relevance to Sonoma County: culture and heritage, equity and local economy, local and sustainable food, and health and happiness. And those are kind of the companies that we're targeting to be tenants here and to make investments in. And then I'll just say, the company we actually work for is SOMO Management LLC, and it's basically the same people. It's Tina Montgomery, our general manager. He does a great job. Richard Pope, who's not here today, our development director. Eric Reed, our chief financial officer. Zoraida Johnson, who's not here today. She's probably the only one. Oh, there she is. All right, Zoraida. Zoraida, actually, I've known Zoraida for like a long time. And she's been working. She's great. And my brother, Brian Baker, who actually normally be the guy that makes sure the lights are on. I don't think he actually had anything to do with this thing earlier. But he runs these buildings. Adam Loria, recent graduate of Sonoma State, who's just been great, runs our events, and then our newest employee, Leah Tivens, who's our contract manager. So I think everyone's here today. Thank you. So this is the plan that we got approved in 2010, that basically kind of the buildings we're in now are in the middle of this plan, and then we have the ability to build 1,600 homes, and we've been working on that ever since. Next slide. So this is the plan. This next slide that we're going to show is the plan that we're going to actually walk into the city of Rohnert Park next week and say this is what we want to do for the first phases. And we actually are working with just a wonderful group to do our first residential project. And I'm super happy to say that they're represented today by their president, Susan O'Connell, of the San Francisco Zen Center. So, yeah, it's a really big deal. They want to build a wonderful complex. I don't know how many people know the San Francisco Zen Center, but they have Green Gulch in Marin. They have Green's Restaurant at Fort Mason. They have Tasahara down in Monterey, and then the San Francisco Zen Center in San Francisco. So that should be our first residential development. So we couldn't be happier about that partnership. So this is just an idea of what some of the housing might look like. This is kind of a multifamily, but you can see it kind of the architecture would go well with this building. And then the next one is some potential kind of the style of some single-family homes that we would like to build out here. The next slide is basically something that we're also very committed to doing is having public art. So we've done some art projects out here, but we're going to do a lot more. Bill mentioned the Make-a-thon. Part of what we did there is we asked people to come up with some art projects, some ideas for some art projects that we want to have out here. Actually, the one in the middle is the one that won the top prize. That's from Brianna Rochelle, and we wanted her to do some great some of her sculptures out here. We've actually put together an art committee. So far, we have 2 members. Me and my girlfriend, Agatha Pleek, who's here today. And we have a couple other people that I think are interested, but we think that art really provides inspiration and fosters creativity and innovation. So we want to make art a big part of our community out here. So if there's any good artists out there in the audience, we would love to talk to you. Okay. So the next slide, the reason we're not going to have this space here next year is because traditional medicinals is moving into this space. Yeah, traditional medicinals was started in 1974 by Drake Sandler and actually Blair, if anybody was here last year, Blair Kellison was one of our keynote speakers. We couldn't be happier with the partnership we're having with traditional medicinals. The values that we share are so well aligned, and unlike a lot of companies that we see that are really concerned about cutting costs and just cramming as many people into a space as possible, these guys really care about their employees. They really care about their suppliers, and it's just I think fits really well into the One Planet framework. Another company that presented here last year was Altwork. I don't know if anybody have seen the Altwork Station. If you haven't, you should go to YouTube or Google it, Altwork Station. These guys are basically revolutionizing the way that people work, greatly increasing productivity, comfort, and health. We've made a substantial investment in Altworks, and we're trying to get them here as well. So I don't know if Che Voigt's in the audience. I didn't see him, but Che's another wonderful guy, and we're super happy to have him. So the next slide is a company that we have made an investment in. We haven't been able to attract them to Sonoma Village. The funny thing is that the woman who runs this company, KJ Erickson, grew up about a quarter of a mile down the street from me. This is a really powerful company. I don't know if anybody's heard of Symbi, the symbiotic economy. We're going to show just a quick video that talks about Symbi and what they're going to do. But I think all of us probably know people that are either unemployed or underemployed. And Symbi basically gives those people power and lets them basically get value for their skills and their talents. And it's a very powerful thing. And as soon as Alejandro gets that video up, we'll see it. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about another great company that we've brought out here, Farmsters. You get any Farmsters in the audience? Huh? Anybody know about Farmster? Yeah. So Farmster is in the process of creating a 5-acre organic garden. These are all recent alumni of SSU, and they basically started out with a small piece of land in this area, and they started farming, and then they sold the produce to the campus on site at SSU. And we're super excited to have them. The farm is on the southern property here, and they're going to supply the event center, Sally Tomatoes, And then I think Alejandro is going to get this video up and loaded. It's the Wi-Fi. Okay. I have no idea. I'm going to have to fire whoever is managing this building. Okay, well, my time is up, but but you really should go check out Simbi. Just Simbi.com. I think it's .com. But it's a terrific company, and I think it's super relevant. So if we ever could get it up there. What's that? You know about it? Cool. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, everybody.